Alright, it is now time to remove the engine. So, just a quick recap. To get everything ready to remove the engine, you've got to disconnect the transmission from the engine. I'm using my replacement engine as the example. You've got these bolts that go around. Let me back up here. If you're looking at it between the two sides of the engine, two valve cover gaskets, this bolt right here and this one right here can be accessed by reaching across the top of your engine, coming around from behind and getting those. Okay. The rest of the bolts, this one here, and all of the bolts going around the rest of the way, you have to crawl up underneath your vehicle to get. Actually, it wasn't really that big of a deal. I was able to get to all of them, no problem. I was actually kind of shocked. So anyway, aside from that, the only thing that's left to do, and I've already got my engine chained up, as I've been contemplating how I'm going to remove the engine, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and just pull the engine off. I'm just going to remove the bolts here. There's 4 bolts. There's one here, there's one over here, and then there's two on the lower side right here. I'm just going to remove those bolts, the engine mounts, and just pull the whole thing out with the engine mounts. Hopefully I can do that without it being a big issue. If it becomes a problem, I'll have to set it back down, tighten it back in, and then unbolt the engine mounts from the engine block. But anyway, everything's pretty much ready to go. I've got to pop off that still. I don't know, I just haven't gotten to it yet. But everything's ready to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and crack these. These are 18 millimeter, by the way. And for some reason, all of my sockets, all my wrenches, out of everything I've got, guess what? I do not have an 18 millimeter. So I figure I'll see if I can borrow one from a neighbor, or I don't know. I'll dig around a little bit. Maybe I'll get lucky. I'll check back in once I've got the hoist on and I start to get everything kind of pulled off from the engine. Nah. Alright. I'm going to swap out the jack that's currently holding my transmission in place with this one. This one that's holding in my transmission extends higher. It's going to allow me to get up under these sides and remove these jack stands. Get a couple wood blocks to me. Those aren't gonna work. Oh, I'm not gonna do it. Just lowering my Jeep down a little bit so I can get a good, get good access to the engine here. Okay, we're pulling the engine. Got the hoist attached. It's real slow. Just kind of watch it, see how things go. Okay, I believe we're free. Let's just go slow. We're going to make sure everything's out of the way and clear. We have, I believe we're free from the transmission below. Yeah, it looks like that coming out of the transmission. I'm going to try to let the transmission come down a little bit more. Actually, it still doesn't look like it's dropped yet. You can't really me see, right there. I'll check back in a few minutes once we get free.